Imagine this, friends. In the early 1600s, a small company was born in London. Its name? The East India Company. Back then, no one could have imagined that this private trading company would one day pave the way for the mightiest empire in the world, the British Crown. Think about it, a company that only came to India to buy spices and textiles. How did it become the ruler of an entire subcontinent? This story is filled with cunning, betrayal, greed, and battles that changed the future of India forever. Today, we'll dive deep into the journey of the East India Company, from traders to rulers. And I'll reveal all the secrets and tricks they used to conquer our land. Europeans arrive in India. First, let's understand, why did Europeans come to India? In the 15th century, Europe had one obsession: spices. Chilies, cloves, cinnamon, cardamom. In Europe, these items sold for more than gold. In India, it was the treasure chest of spices. In 1498, Vasco da Gama reached Calicut, Kerala. From that day, direct sea trade between India and Europe began. The Portuguese came first, building their base in Goa. Then came the Dutch, dominating the spice trade. The French arrived too, setting up in Pondicherry. And finally, the British. In 1600, the East India Company was formed. By 1608, British traders landed at Suraport. Their goal was simple: buy cheap in India, sell high in Europe. But slowly, the company realized something. If they could control Indian politics, the profits wouldn't just be 10x, they'd be 100x. And that was the start of their real game plan. The Battle of Plassey. Now let's move to Bengal, the richest province of India at the time. Its land produced gold, its ports carried immense trade, and its weavers made the world's finest muslin and silk. The ruler was Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowlah. He challenged the growing power of the company and ordered them not to interfere in Bengal's politics and revenue. The company refused. In 1756, Siraj attacked Calcutta. This was followed by the infamous Black Hole of Calcutta incident in British records. But the real game began with Robert Clive. Clive realized a direct war would be tough. So, he used betrayal. He bribed Siraj's commander, Mir Jafar, and promised to make him the new Nawab if he betrayed in battle. On June 23, 1757, the Battle of Plassey was fought. In just 3 hours, Siraj's army collapsed because Mir Jafar and his men didn't fight. Siraj was defeated. Mir Jafar was made Nawab. Friends, that was the day when a trading company captured its first Indian province. Bengal's treasury fell into company hands, and this was the beginning of India's loot. The Battle of Buxar. After Plassey, the company grew powerful, but not everyone accepted their control.
Mir Jafar was just a puppet Nawab. When he resisted, the British replaced him with Mir Qasim, a more independent ruler. Mir Qasim tried to break the company's monopoly, but the British couldn't tolerate that. In 1764, the Battle of Buxar was fought. Mir Qasim joined forces with Shuja-ud-Dowlah, Nawab of Awadh, and Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II. Together, they challenged the British. But under Hector Munro, the company defeated them. In 1765, the Treaty of Allahabad was signed. The company got Diwani rights over Bengal, Bihar, and Orissa, meaning they could now collect taxes directly. This was the turning point. The company was no longer just a trader. It had become a ruler. Expansion and wars. Next, the company's mission was to expand its control across India. In the south, they defeated Mysore's Hyder Ali and his son Tipu Sultan. Against the Marathas, they fought 3 major wars and won. After the death of Maharaja Ranjit Singh, they broke the Sikh Empire in Punjab. The company had a systematic plan: divide and rule. They turned Indian rulers against one another, weakened both sides, and then took control themselves. Policies of exploitation. The company didn't just use battles, they also used policies to enslave India. Subsidiary alliance, rulers were forced to dismiss their own armies and keep British troops instead, and pay for them. If they couldn't pay, they had to give away land. Doctrine of lapse, if a ruler had no legal heir, his kingdom was directly annexed. Meanwhile, agriculture and trade were destroyed. Farmers were forced to grow indigo and opium for export. In 1770, Bengal suffered a famine, millions died of hunger. Indian handloom and handicrafts were crushed so that British factory goods could dominate the Indian market. This was economic loot, which directly fueled the British Industrial Revolution. The Revolt of 1857. But friends, even oppression has a limit. Farmers were exploited. Artisans were jobless. Kings lost their kingdoms. And sepoys, the backbone of the company's army, had their religious beliefs insulted with the use of greased cartridges. In 1857, a spark turned into a fire. Mongol Pandey lit the first flame at Barakpur. The revolt spread from Meerut to Delhi. The last Mughal, Bahadur Shah Zafar, was made the symbolic leader. Leaders like Rani Lakshmibai, Nana Sahib, and Tantia Tope rose in rebellion. From Kanpur to Jhansi to Lucknow, battles broke out everywhere. But the British used superior weapons, better coordination, and the divisions among Indian rulers to crush the revolt. In 1858, the East India Company was dissolved. India was now directly under the British Crown. This marked the beginning of the British Raj. Conclusion. Friends, think about it. A private company that came only to trade spices, conquered an entire nation through deceit, greed, and divide and rule. The story of the East India Company teaches us one powerful lesson. When a nation is divided, even a small company can conquer it. But when a nation is united, even the greatest empire cannot shake it. This isn't just history. It's a warning. And it reminds us that unity is our greatest strength.